C4 is the newest stratagem in the Redacted Regiments warbond, and some folks don't like it, which is understandable, but I want people to get a good idea of what it can do before they make up their minds and say, that's not good. So I'll be showing you guys time to kills for enemies, I'll go over tips for making C4 more useful, and finally we'll actually talk about how to improve it since C4 isn't perfect. Anywho, let's go ahead and start the Pain Putty review. C4 is a combination of Dynamite's explosive radius and Thermite's direct damage, so you have great horde clear if used correctly, and you can also handle a bunch of the larger enemies, which I'll be showing sections of heavies, air heavies, elites, and finally the current boss, hive lords. After that we'll do objectives and whatnot. We'll begin with a game-changing tip. If you toss all your C4 and can't throw any more after resupplying, reload your detonator, and it should solve this game-changing or game-breaking conundrum that many folks face, including myself. You can take out every single heavy set enemy with a single stick of Democracy Dough. Chargers, 1 C4 to the face, done deal. Or the back, if they're running away from you, the wagon. You can also toss it at the ground, and as they charge over it, you detonate, they die. A strategy from Helldivers 1, courtesy of Anomaly in the Discord. Hulks, you can likely hit them anywhere, and if they're in a group bundled up conducting a seance of some kind, saying, we hate Helldivers, rah! You can kill multiple in 1 C4. I think I took out maybe 3 or 4 with just a single stick. War Striders, they can get one shot if you go for the crotch or the leg. Do not hit the torso, that takes forever. Harvesters, hit the joint. Best spot to go for, it can probably kill the eyeball, the little blue area, but landing that is tough. And do be warned that C4 can bounce off this enemy. I think it's bugged. If it shields up, you can't stick anything to it, including thermites, urchins, C4. And when you break the shield and destroy a horn where it can't reshield, it sometimes maintains that same property where everything just bounces off for the most part. So that's the one exception where C4 can bounce, but I don't think it's intended. Meat Bob. A direct hit gets them gone in every instance I've seen so far. Stingrays. You toss C4 so they intercept it while in the air, but you don't hit them with it. Instead, you simply detonate it once they're above you. Gunships. They're flying just far enough away to where you cannot hit them with C4 unless you're wearing armor to increase your throwing distance, aka servo-assisted. So if you're trying to kill those guys, you gotta wear the armor. Leviathans. You're going to want anything that gives you increased throwing distance, in the current case, servo-assisted. And in this situation, I threw about the entire kitchen sink. 6 C4 to be exact. I believe you could get away with having 5. Holy porky pig, brother. King. Speaking of brothers, if you or someone you know needs some custom high-quality hats or other things embroidered, hit up my brother at OutWestSeams.com. Bile Titans. Takes 2 C4s towards the face, which isn't too hard to pull off because if they're spewing, that's the best time to throw it. They actually detonate it for you. Impalers can get one-tapped. Throw 1 C4 at either front leg, detonate, and it's dead. Dragon Roaches. Toss C4 next to its wing and detonate. Do that twice, and it should be dead, which is far more consistent for me than trying to land it on its wing. Tanks. The works every time or get your money back strat is to toss it on the back turret or the back base, but I've seen success tossing it on the side of either the turret or the base. Factory Striders with a very fast time to kill of 2 C4 to multiple different spots. From the back, go for the rectangle towards the bottom of its wagon. On the undercarriage, just pick one side door. On the torso, go for the middle or bottom of that. Hive Lords. You can kill them with C4, but I recommend instead trying to break off an armor piece using 7 C4 and 3 thermites. I believe that math checks out to where if they all hit the same piece of armor, at least not the bottom one, you break it, which is pretty freaking fast, all things considered. Once you break armor, do not continue hitting it with explosive damage, in this case C4, like I did, for 10 minutes plus. You're doing 0 damage as far as I can tell. Everyone says it has 100% explosive damage resistance, which is bad. So if you're going to keep using C4 on a Hive Lord after you break an armor piece, just keep breaking more armor pieces. On spawners, you one-shot fabricators, illuminate dropships, and bug nests, just not bile titan nests. You don't have the demolition force to destroy those. For objectives, the Shakir hotels and spore spewers take 2 sticks of C4. If you toss 1, it would only take you 1 magazine from most assault rifles, and it would be even less for weapons that do more damage. Bunkers require 5 C4, and by the way, this mission is very fun to beat with a single button press. Throw C4 on all the bunkers, all the fabricators, at the very end you detonate, and just seeing the whole map go from being essentially incomplete to being done is awesome. I recommend it highly. give it a gander. You cannot destroy stratagem jammers or detector towers, which is a good thing. Many folks are a little annoyed because they're so eager to remove the agency and investment in their missions, and they'd rather just take things out without actually having to get involved or invested. That is a problem. In fact, it's one of the reasons in which folks don't like C4, because why would I take C4 and I can simply shoot fabricators from any angle and break them from Narnia, 500 meters away to be exact. You can go even further than that if you get the right angle. That is a problem with the game design and rewarding nonsense. The tip section is admittedly quite small. You can shoot and explode C4 if you feel like it, although it's not particularly useful. When tossing C4 next to thermites, they don't tend to get set off by the thermite explosion. You can use that on factory straters if you want to kill an entire convoy with the C4 detonation itself at one time. Makes it a bit more simple. Any C4 dispense using a specific detonator is uniquely tied to that detonator. If you call down 2 C4 packs, you can have C4 on the ground as a booby trap, and then swap detonators and use that as your primary democracy dealer, the pain putty dispenser. Some quirky things you can do on raise the flag missions. If you want to be stealthy when using C4, just don't be the host. Currently is a host bug where anyone who's a party leader, host, tosses C4, enemies are far more aware of it than they should be. And if you're not the host, you don't have that problem. C4 is the first non-expendable support weapon, making it extremely useful for any mission in which you have a one-handed mission objective to carry, because now you have essentially 7 ultimatum shots you can fire off in a rapid succession in the palm of your hands. As you saw in the very beginning, you can attach C4 to players, which is hilarious. I don't believe, however, you can attach it to your ballistic shields, warp backpack, and or hover backpack. They don't seem to have a hitbox, which could be a good thing because now you have less girth to get ragdolled, but it would have been cool if I could have my hover backpack with C4, I go onto a factory strider's back, drop the hover backpack, walk away, detonate. It is time for the very thing that most of Arrowhead's target audience fears: constructive feedback. Ooh, spooky. The C4's function swap should 100% be on the left side. There is a lot of discrepancy for many weapons in which that's not the case, and they should just really dial it in and have some consistency there. C4 should close Battle Titan Nest, and the only reason why I think they didn't make that a possibility is to try and keep Dynamite a bit more relevant. But it's not really a good enough excuse if that's the reason, since C4 is a backpack and a support weapon built into one. That is a hefty investment on a faction that I believe C4 performs the worst on by a long shot. When a teammate resupplies you, it should fill your C4 backpack. In the current case, you only get back 3, which is a little rough considering a person can bring their own supply backpack, ultimatum, and thermites, and now they get back a ultimatum shot and 2 thermites per resupply. That's the equivalent here. But you could offset that by giving people more ammo for, in this case, playing as a team. Then also make it to where random POI ammo boxes give you 2 C4 instead of the current 1. The goal is to make it so this weapon is a bit less parasitic in the ammo department. That's the feedback I believe is very actionable. But here's some off-the-wall stuff. What if you remove the detonator and now you don't have a support weapon? You can carry railgun, AMR, whatever is just a one-handed support weapon or two-handed, and you still get the C4 you can dispense by pressing the backpack button. So you can put away your guard dogs, activate your Hellbound backpack yourself by pressing it. Sending applies to dispensing C4. And for detonation, you simply hold that button. Now, I'm not saying they should do that, but it'd be pretty cool. That is all the feedback I have for now. And real quick, the loadout I like the most for bots is C4 Commando Rocket Sentry, and the last option for stratagems is a flex pick. Whatever makes the most sense to you. If you understand constellations and what you'll be facing more or less, it changes a bit. And if I'm facing a snow planet, obviously muscle enhancement. If I'm not, stamina or vitality booster. Primary can be sensor, diligence, purifier, crossbow. Secondary is talon, based on what your primary is, and thermites with extra grenade armor. You have a bunch of explosive power. You're essentially Demo Man minus a grenade launcher. You're Bon Voyage from Incredibles. Anyway, that's the video. That's my review on C4. I like it a lot. I think it's S tier in terms of fun, usefulness, and uniqueness. It is not perfect. S tier is not perfect. I just view weapons as really good as long as you can play the game in a different way that is also fun and doesn't feel as if you're pulling your hair out. This, I don't believe, makes you feel that way. Aside from that, I think it's a good time. For bugs, it sucks, but that faction blows. So I don't care. That genuinely, that faction's terrible. They gotta figure it out. They have ran it into the ground. So if you ain't having fun on bugs with C4, that's not the C4's problem. That's the faction's problem. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you're interested in supporting the channel, maybe consider support my brother instead. He does custom embroidery, specializing in hats, but he can do jackets and various other items. If you're a business or you just want a bunch of hats especially, hit him up. Like 12, 20, 30, 40, 50 hats. He can do that. He'd appreciate the work. He puts a lot of effort and care into it. So I think you'd actually get a pretty awesome product. Hashtag not sponsored. You don't pay me. I don't want his money, okay? I just want to support him. I would not be doing content without him. My brother recorded his first talking video, and for some reason, that has caused it to rain inside my house.
My name is Dylan, and I made up Out West Seams, and I embroider hats, mainly. I can embroider other things too, and I can also do custom, shirts, work uniforms, jackets, etc. So these are all for sale on OutWestSeams.com, and this one is for sale on Amazon. And now, if you want to be a pal, you can go on Amazon, search Out West Seams, and favorite it. I'm not asking you to buy it. If you want to, do it. But if you don't, just favorite it, so maybe somebody else will see it, like it, and buy it. Yeah, so I do this. I've got a couple of these. I work out of my garage. I'm just one guy, and I have 4 children. So listen, if this works out too good, I haven't quite figured out what to do, but I'm interested. Let's give her a go.
And again, have a good day, and thank you for watching.